So I just asked the lady, the girl. I call her a girl because she gave me a smug. A lady wouldn't have done that. The girl at Starbucks, how it is that McDonald's, a cheapo place like McDonald's, can serve hot coffee, but Starbucks can't, and their coffee's like 4 times as expensive. Anyway, someday I'll give up on my plight to think Starbucks is a good. I don't know. The tea, the Tazo. I don't know if you've ever had it. This is why I go to Starbucks. Unsweet black iced tea is probably the best tea I've ever tasted, and it has helped me because if you live in the South, growing up, you're force fed sweet tea, right? So one of the things I did when I got into my 30s was stop drinking sweet tea, and that helped me a lot. Because even though I'm overweight now, I have no high blood pressure, or high cholesterol or anything like that. So even though I'm overweight, I'm pretty healthy, and that's probably what keeps me thinking I'm okay. There's a psychology there, because weight, your weight problems, like any other problems, are psychological. But anyway, that wasn't what I was going to vlog about. I was going to vlog about Stephen Hawking and how much influence he had on just everyday people, even me. I mean, secretly, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronomer. I guess every kid goes through this phase. And I remember, I don't know, I guess in my 20s, reading books, about physics and all of that, and about black holes always fascinated me. And of course, being the novice, physicist that I am from Southeast Tennessee, I always thought that we had the wrong impression of black holes. That they're not. And again, this is just an impression. That the way that they were named black holes, they gave them the wrong name. They should have named it like just black mass, because a black hole makes it seem like there's nothing there. But of course, a black hole has an enormous amount of mass, and that's why it attracts so much. That's why it's so attractive, and why light can't escape. But one of the most famous things I remember that Stephen Hawking did was try to start the debate of whether information was lost or not. And when you think about that, you say, what does that mean? Because we think of everything. I'm a very physical person, obviously, but I tend to think of things, since I'm a builder, as real, and so that's why I think physics is so interesting to me, because it's almost more like metaphysics than physics, in that, and this is hard to explain in a 5-minute vlog, but I don't go for the sort of mystical version of physics. I mean, I think that when humans can't understand something, they tend to mystify it and sort of glorify that mysticism. And I think that's part of what the backlash of quantum mechanics did, was because we didn't quite understand it, we tended to think that it wasn't a physical thing, which it is. If you study fractals at all, you'll realize that the quantum world is just a zoomed in version of the world we know, and that there is matter behind all substance. People tend to sort of romanticize quantum physics, in that they make it seem almost that there's part of it that's not real. It's like light. The idea that light is a particle and a wave. Well, the wave part of it is just its effect on its surroundings, right? That doesn't mean that the wave is not real. It's just that is the effect, the cause and effect. Light traveling through the ether. It's the wave part of it is that it's having an effect on its travel. It's so this is why I thought information didn't get lost, was that even though the particle part of light, the photon, was maybe trapped, or absorbed by the black hole, that its effect lived on. And that was kind of why I always thought that you couldn't say that information was lost. And of course, to try to explain that to whoever, it seemed like Hawking came up with this idea that an image, if you were in a spacesuit and right before you entered a black hole, right as you entered that event horizon, that the image or that information would be maintained there at the event horizon, was sort of, to me, again, sort of a Hollywood version of, no, those particles are going to get spun around that event horizon. It's going to be, the information doesn't get lost, but it's going to be like putting you in a blender. It's like, me cutting off my hand and throwing it in a blender. All the parts of my hand are still there, but they're not very useful anymore. It would be very difficult to take all those parts out and reassemble them. And that's why I believe in a creator. I believe the universe was created by a super intelligent being, and that it is a physical world. The unknown part of it is what we create as religion, and the mystical part of it. We create that in our limited knowledge. That's the sort of metaphysical, the idea, the part that is unknown becomes our mysticism. And so anyway, I didn't mean for this to be this long, but I did want to just do a little tribute to Stephen Hawking. And I think he inspired many people. And I tried, I really wanted Alex actually aces physics. He's got an AP physics course right now in school, and he aces it. And I'm like, dude, you could be the best physicist, and you could continue to inspire me to learn. And I don't know, he'll eventually figure out what he wants to do, and whatever he does, he will be excellent at it. I think he gets tired of me wanting him to be a rocket scientist. So anyway, he has, I guess that to say, he inspired many people. He inspired me to learn more about science. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. He inspired me to learn more about science and physics, and not that I actually learnt it. I just read it and tried to understand it the best I could. But that's part of it, right? The seeking of that knowledge is, even if he put people on that path, which I think he did, of seeking knowledge, then that really says a lot about him. So anyway, rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. I know you're out there. Excuse me. I know you're out there on the edge of that black hole. See ya.